Yo, what is going on, everybody? This your boy Sean, aka Puff Comics 83, and we are back with another episode of Talking Films. I am joined by my co-host Varangian Vigilante, and today we are talking 3 o'clock high. And this is like continuation of high school talk because last week, we did Days of Confused, and now we're going into 3 o'clock high. And it's like, this is your first time watching V, and I know you got something interesting to say with the German title. So I think every week we're gonna kick off with what's the German title of the films we talk about.
I love German product marketing. First time watching this movie, and I had absolutely no idea what I was walking into because I got the DVD and it has like the German and the original cover. When you look at the original cover, you see it's like, looks like a comedy, like the drawings are a little bit more comedic, but there's some stake to it. When you look at the German cover on the other side, you think you're watching a fucking splatter movie.
What the hell?
What the fuck?
That's like a whole different movie.
I know. So it's like, am I watching a teenage comedy or I'm watching a splatter movie?
Put it up again. What the hell is
Faust
this, man?
the law of the fist.
Unbelievable. That don't even look like the actors there, man. Like,
I know, this is not even a scene from the fucking movie. Like here you have scenes from the movie, and this is just a fucking stock picture.
Jeez. Oh man.
Yeah, so it's like, so basically, I literally went blind into this movie because like, well, what it's gonna be, and when it started, and I saw it like, I absolutely love the humor. Like this is like very surreal humor, which became more popular late in the 90s. So this movie was actually a little bit ahead of its time, which was also probably why it flopped on the box office, but became like a cult classic apparently. And now I also consider it a cult classic because this movie is freaking awesome.
It's an amazing film. And when you saw it flopped in the box office, people at the time was like, in the 80s was like king of high school comedies. You had the Breakfast Club, you had your Ferris Bueller, which I know you're gonna talk a little bit about your dislike of that. And
I'm not a Ferris Bueller fan.
And stuff. And then this movie is like your prototypical outcast coming to school, and somebody gets in the way, and he's trying to figure out how to avoid 3 o'clock fight.
Yeah, but basically,
you're following the story of one day at school.
Yeah, basically when Ferris Bueller's Days Off is Friends, which is a not funny TV series, so I don't get anybody liking Friends. This is fucking Seinfeld. This is funny. This is witty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I love this film so much that when we talked Days of Confused last week, I also watched this, and I was like, we gotta talk 3 o'clock high. And when you said you never seen it, there's always a worry like, oh, you never seen it. I don't know whether he liked it or not. But then when I was watching the movie, I'm like, oh, he's gonna like this, man. Because it's too entertaining. It's too good. The characters, the cast. It's everything that you reminisce about high school days of the stories of certain people that come in and stuff. So I forgot all about the school store. And like I remember the school store in high school where we go in there and buy supplies and stuff like that.
We don't have that here.
So that really like took me back to even the high school days with the school store and stuff.
Yeah, but thank you for recommending me this movie. This was like really a fantastic addition into my database of known movies, and also that it reminded me about one of my favorite TV series of the 90s when I was like a very early teenager. One of my favorite series was Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and the surreal humor, like especially when things are just a little bit more fantastic than they should be in everyday life. Is exactly how it is in this movie, and also like the bully, like Barney Rubel, reminded me a little bit about Larry Kubiak from that series. So there's a lot of similarities, and that's also like one of the reasons why I absolutely fell in love with this movie.
And it's funny we talk about Buddy Rivera and being a bully. Technically, he's not a bully because he just want to be left alone. He has this whole thing about not wanting to be touched, and I love the opening scene when they get to the school and all the students are talking about, oh, you heard about this guy's coming to the school? Man, he's violent. He broke this kid's neck. He punched out the teacher and knocked him out, put him in the hospital for 3 weeks and stuff. So it's like, yo, this dude's crazy. He's psychopath. But he just wanted to be left alone. He's an outcaster.
Yeah, you got a point there. But I also feel like this movie also, because like of the surrealism, it feels like that it could be a retelling of Cherry Mitchell afterwards when everything happened, because everything seems just a little bit over the top, especially like how he's caused with all the relevant women.
The absurdity adds the charm.
Yes, and the characters, that everything, like every role from school is here like tuned up to 11. Like the security and the principal, like yeah, absolutely loves the security guard, like the Duke. Which after this he joined the FBI.
Yeah.
Because he's Agent Skinner, the actor is Agent Skinner from the X-Files. I gotta rewatch the X-Files one day. And I love how how overeager he is to serve justice.
It's like as soon as he sees a student off premises, he's ready to pounce on him.
Yeah.
Where are you? You supposed to be in class. You got a school pass?
Which is really funny because the actor in this role, he had like totally Kurt Angle vibes, like Kurt Angle vibes.
Total doofus, man. Man, it's like you remember those people that chases you, whether it's security or the dean, because I remember the dean will patrol the hallways, and we had to be leery of what we're doing because we saw him, and he had the microphone like Jimmy Hart.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I told it already on a last stream in the past, but also like here, the dean was like going through the schools, and we stayed always a little bit longer because in the school we had the fast internet. Then at home, back in the early 2000s, in business school, and we were like all in the computer room. We were all downloading like porn on fucking floppy disks. So of course it was like pictures, because you can't have videos on this floppy disk because there was not enough space. And then he came in and we all were like shocked, and he was looking at us, and we were all like trying to get to the other tab, which of course with Windows 95 was not like so smooth as it is nowadays. So we were all like sweating, and he was like how proud he is of us that we stay after school to learn like about computers. And we were all
you trying so hard to scramble and get out the site, but the damn computer is so damn slow. It's like, and then some of the teachers got creative. They you had all the computers lined up. So I'm me and the friend, we looking at the wrestling website and stuff like that, because the ads whatever was the shit back then. And she came by and said, yeah, I know y'all be looking at the wrestling websites, because I see it on my computer. They like, she got all the computers linked to her computer, so she watches what we watch.
The fantastic thing here was the teachers had no idea about computers, so we were actually better than the teachers. So we were like playing Doom via LAN while the teacher was like doing there and had no idea. Then the teachers had also no idea how fucking network works. Like somebody set the network up in school, teacher had no idea. So of course when there was a test, we all communicated via network. Which actually, you know, maybe they call it cheating, but we learned a value lesson about life, about network.
Yeah, it's funny to listen back to all that stuff.
Yeah, and this movie it's what I also love about it is like the simplicity. Like it has like I was like the plot is paper thin, it's cool, shit happens to people, and gonna fight you 3 o'clock, and basically, and it's like there's no escape. If you run, I'll find you. If you tell the teacher like you're done, if you go home, I'm gonna be under your bed. so actually, it was really fantastic because it set up like this. Hey, Aspire, it set like this, unavoidable thing. I was like, you know, when he got in the car and you had like the switchblade with the car's like, there's no escape.
Yeah, because his friend Vincent, tried to say, let's set him up, put the switchblade inside his locker, and then, you know, they'll find it and they'll kick him out of school. So when the switchblade was in his mom's car, that to the wheel, it's like, shit.
Yeah. I hope you had no Duke following you.
Yeah, the Duke after you for skipping school. Well, at least when I'll say, if we got past the school, we have to deal with the truant police.
In the US, we have a police for everything. It seems like we didn't even have like a hall monitor. Like everything was done by the teachers, and once you were out of school, you were safe. Hey, Christina.
Hey, Christina.
Hey, we got people here today. This hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I don't know. Maybe it's this film, you know.
This film, yeah.
But yeah, I also like, you know, as they get to the first class, they're telling Jerry, hey, you should like interview him, you know, get to know him, like ease him into the school. And Jerry's like, I don't know if I should do that. But then when what's his name goes to the bathroom, when Buddy goes to the bathroom, he goes in there and he commits the cardinal sin that everybody talked about. And this man don't like to be touched.
Yeah, I was absolutely love the running gag, you know, with the football players and also with Buddy, you know, it's like when he was like coming in his privacy, like, are you a fag?
First thing he said. he give him that cold stare. You know what I'm saying? Are you serious?
Yeah.
But you know this guy is mentally unstable from the stories you heard. You just see him and he has no emotion whatsoever. And yet, while you're talking to them, you're gonna touch him on the arm. And his mind got triggered.
Yeah, because like you said, he isn't a bully. It's like he has his set of rules, and in this case, his rule set was violated. So
one of the students was saying, you know, he likes sharks. Like he loves sharks. The sharks is his thing. So when they asked him to dissect pregnant sharks, he like, no. And then when the teacher tried to take him out of class, he put him in the hospital for 3 days. It's like the stories of Buddy Revenge. I love movies where you automatically get to know the character just based on the story.
Yes, because this movie started and it created like the lore of the character before the character was introduced, and this was done so brilliantly. In general, the director, the camera angles, and also the kind of filters he used. It's he really managed to set like really almost like this fairy tale setting in school, like this larger than life. And I think it was inspired like by High Noon, by the Western, which also got later remade with Christian Bale. Actually, it was not a bad remake. That because yeah, it's making like I said, you know, it's a duel like a certain like at High Noon, and here of course like with the duel, I'm gonna meet you after school.
And then all of a sudden the time starts ticking.
I absolutely laugh, you know. I was also like a kid because this is something like this is also happening here, like in Europe, you know, when it's basically like, yeah, we're gonna deal with that after school. It almost like it feels like that after school is like this lawless time. Right? It's like we don't have to abide to the laws of the school.
Exactly. They like we're not gonna fight in school. We're gonna do it after school, and you're already in your mind like, damn,
it's like teacher that doesn't concern you.
Yeah, that's why this movie's so relatable, because you're thinking, how the fuck am I gonna get out of this situation? I don't want to fight, man.
Yeah, and like I said, I absolutely laugh how immediately that Buddy like Ravel is he's giving you, you know, you violated a rule, we're gonna fight. There's no way out.
No way.
No way out.
It's like the elimination chamber. You're not getting out. So
you know that that pay-per-view like elimination chamber is not allowed to be called that in Germany.
What is it allowed to be called?
Well, I forgot how it's named. We always watch it in English, but of course, to history, it's like you don't want to call like a fun event elimination chamber.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know that. Now it hit me.
Yeah.
Oh man. But I like how the more he
now I have to check how it's called in German.
The more he tries to figure out to get out of the situation, the more desperate he becomes. You know. And one of my favorite bits is how he tries to pay off another guy who's a football player and bully, to say, hey, you kicked this guy's ass like last semester, so why don't you help me out and deal with Buddy Revere, because you know he wants to fight me.
Yeah. In German it's called No Escape. The people.
Oh. Starring Ray Liotta.
Rest in peace, Ray Liotta.
But yeah, he pays another student, and the funny thing is he pays him with money from the goddamn student store. It's like you run the student store, and the whole thing, the cash register got damaged. It's not opening up, and he caused mass damage to the whole damn place, and it just opens up on its own.
And he thinks it is not grand theft because it's under 500.
It's ridiculous. It's still theft.
Yeah.
$450.
Yeah. It's this movie has it really establishes high stakes.
Super high stakes when it comes to paying off somebody to handle Buddy.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is he gives him the money, right?
Yeah.
He goes confront him in the library. Buddy is in the library reading. I'm like, this guy's a violent psychopath. Yeah, he's in the library reading. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
So the guy confronts him and he said, you're not going to fight Jerry because, you know, he paid me to deal with you. He touches him and Buddy loses it. He snaps his finger and then punches him and he knocks all the bookshelves over. And then you got Jerry and Vincent standing right there with the last bookshelf falling.
that scene.
The look on their faces is like, oh shit.
Like how the ways it's shot, how it's acted. Like I said, it's the absurdity of it. It's so brilliant. You know, that's one of my favorite kind of humor. And can't wait to watch this movie again. Like I said, like like how basically all the bookshelves are like tick, 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 tick.
Like
And there's
domino.
even like late medieval armor in there.
It's just so good.
I
Man.
also like well, with the when he paid like the footballer to a fight with him, it's like do you know? Remember me? You were the one who bled.
The movie had a lot of good quotes, man. I thought of
Yeah.
using that too. And another great quote was from his sister saying, "Being flunked beats being dead." And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. Cause
You know what I also like about it, that because Buddy Revell, he never once he decides something, he follows through. And the good thing about it, what I really liked about him, until that fight, like he wasn't a jerk to him.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't like also with the test and everything. And basically, I also like how Mitchell tried to make friends with him so he can get out of this. But they said that there's nothing you can do to get out of this. This is set. This is.
It's like when Buddy made his mind that we're gonna fight. It was a mental contract to him.
That was set in fucking stone.
You're not escaping. And between Buddy basically haunting him throughout the entire day, him running into the Duke and the dean, saying we're watching you, the money from the student store being stolen, and then everything that's happening.
The detective.
Oh man,
that was also like, this was such a Columbo homage. Like the way the detective acted, like it was like the only thing missing was really like, I have one more question.
Yeah, he really wanted to bring him in for more questioning.
Yeah, this looks like an inside job, dude.
And then you had the whole thing with his friends, Vincent with the switchblade, his girlfriend, saying that it's a higher power or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like the uncertainty just keeps rising as the movie goes on.
And then, like, the way he gets more like desperate. I absolutely love his most desperate attempt, with the book report when he really tried to fuck it up. So he gets like detention like after school, where he's like, he's like just talking bullshit, and he's like lighting on a cigarette, and then he seduces the teacher and kisses her, which actually works. So she's wanna actually date him. Not
today's culture will look back at that and like that's not supposed to happen, that.
Yeah,
but,
I still think it's basically it's when people would say if it would be the other way around, if the teacher would be a man, people would freak out. But with like basically an older woman seducing a man, it's fair game.
Hey, I can go back in time and try and get the hot teachers that I had in class with that same technique.
And let's face it, it's like, when I wouldn't have said no if I was when I was like.
And that was probably out of all of the things the most absurd that he was able to give teachers.
Especially since she came back in the end and.
Yes, like he had his girlfriend. He had the blonde chick that he also liked it. He almost got in a car accident.
Which totally was a header.
Mm-hmm.
Heifers is also a movie we have to talk about in the future.
Yep. But he had her, and then he got the teacher. So I'm like, damn, he's winning at the end. But if he really wanted to go to detention, all he had to do was flip some tables over and just act stupid.
Yeah, but of course, like for everything in the movie, you thought there would have been a solution that would be more sane and would have functioned. But But of course, it is a movie, so you have a little bit of that element in there that it is scripted, and of course, like everything he would have done would only have postponed the inevitable.
Yeah, it's crazy. All the things that he did, and then between the hiring of the other guy to fight him, and trying to get out the fight. The whole thing with Buddy is that during math class, like you said earlier, he cheating and getting the notes, and the teacher busted them, so they go to see the principal, and he tells Buddy to go up and answer the question, and Buddy goes up and answers the question. So like he ain't need to cheat, but I felt like he did that for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's like there's hidden layers with Buddy, and so like he's crazy, but again he's an outcast that just likes to be left alone in his own space, and you can tell that there is a certain intelligence about him.
Yeah.
He reads books and he's kept to himself, and if he knows the math problem, he did the whole cheating thing just to fuck with Jerry.
Yeah. In general, I also think that the actor is very good, which is actually because he also plays the villain in Kindergarten Cop. So, actually, I'm very surprised why he didn't rose more to stardom, because like he has the looks and he has, of course, the acting abilities.
Yeah, he definitely should have had some more appearances in films, but some breaks don't go people's way. But yeah, there's like a certain quality to Buddy. Like he's crazy, he's psycho, but at the same time, if you respect his boundaries, then you won't have a problem. He's not your prototypical type of bully.
The only thing that I didn't like in this movie, I would have made different, is that he goes into the fight with Brass Knuckles.
Well, the Brass Knuckles was established during the stories at the beginning.
I know, but it's something I would have done differently about the character, because I think he wouldn't have needed them.
I mean, you look at his size, like, he don't need them.
Yeah,
but see, I think the Brass Knuckles adds to his violent nature. Like, he don't need them, but he just uses them because it's something that he likes to use, and he wants to really inflict pain on somebody.
Yeah, but still, I think this was a little bit too much, but I get it. But he also was not a bad sport when Mitchell used the Brass Knuckles on him later.
Yeah.
Afterwards, like at least that, like he's like, well, I brought them, so they got used against me. So, well, it's
and
don't hit the player, hit the game.
And when it comes to Brass Knucks, we gotta have the wrestling bios quote. Brass Knucks that don't look like Brass Knucks, but we're gonna call them Brass Knucks anyway.
Yeah.
But the whole build up to that fight, where everybody, I like how once the word got out that Buddy challenged him to a fight, everybody in the fucking school knew immediately. And when they was in the bathroom, right? Buddy and Jerry in the stall, doing their thing. One person was in the stall and he's hearing the conversation. He starts to put his feet up and hide. Because he don't want no part of that. Yeah. And then once the fight is set up, he comes out and he runs out there. He probably told all his friends, and now everybody knows that he's fighting Buddy.
And like news spread fast in school. Like it's
word gets around from freshman to senior.
Like I remember once when I said something about a teacher, and there was also like somebody where he goes, "Oh, have you heard these things?" Like, and I immediately grabbed him. Was like, "Shut your mouth!" And of course, the teacher found out, and which was funny because the teacher's like, "I heard that you said that like about me," and I'm like, "Yes, but it's true." I just called her a fat pig, and it was true.
Hey,
it wasn't true.
Hey, sometimes we all have the same mindset, but we don't have the way to express it and voice it out like others would. They will say it. We'd be like, nah, I'm too nice. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. And if she listens, yes, you were a fat pig. And a shitty teacher.
But yeah, like one thing about it, once word gets out, the whole school knows, and that's why that fight at the end, everybody was there.
It was like I absolutely laughed.
Even outside, out in the windows.
It felt like a fucking stadium, you know, with everybody in the classes, the windows open, looking downstairs.
Yeah, like everybody was watching. It was like a big gladiator fight where everybody had their places and they paid to watch.
Yeah, and the prince was come. There's gonna be no fight today. He knocked out the prince.
He tried to de-escalate the situation. He made it worse when he committed the sin of touching Buddy.
And then when the Duke tried to basically not stop the fight, but get into the fight, but he was like one punch knocked out.
And the dean saw that, and he's like, "Nope." He ran back. But one thing that about the fight is, and this is very important. You always got to have your friends that watch your back and look out for you.
Yeah.
Vincent and the girlfriend, they stepped in, and it's like, you don't have friends like that, then they don't deserve to be friends.
I absolutely love how he had.
Because if there's one thing I know, I see my best friend getting jumped, I'm running in there to help him out.
Yeah,
they did the same for me.
Yeah, and he totally gave her an equal right.
And then Vincent jumping off the top rope like he's a fucking highlight.
Yeah, you know, this was, you know, with the run-ins, with the audience, it really felt like a wrestling match.
Yeah.
It was really booked very well. It was booked fantastically.
And then because Vincent jumped off the top, he lost. Buddy lost the brass knuckles, which gave his sister Berry to give him the knuckles. And I give Vince credit. He was going at it, you know, like his stuff wasn't affecting Buddy, but it wasn't like he was holding back. He was trying his hardest.
He was a fantastic distraction, at least. So he gave Mitchell like the time that he needed to come back to Hulk up.
And when Buddy missed that punch, woo! He called him with the William Regal power of the punch.
Don't fuck this up, Mitchell.
Don't fuck this up. Yeah, he called him with the power of the punch, won the fight, and you think it's over, right? No. Yeah. Then here comes the detective.
Yeah. This is actually the part that I also really liked because I totally assumed something different had happened. I was totally assuming that he's gonna blame like the robbery on Buddy because Buddy
had the money.
So I totally thought that would happen, but it didn't happen, and he basically, you know, he silently acknowledged that he's like made a mistake, but also love how everything worked together to helping out of the situation. So actually, I really laughed that this movie didn't take the room to basically blame everything on Buddy, but that also Mitchell like took accountability.
Well, let's back up for a minute on that because Buddy had the money.
Yeah.
We saw Jerry give the money to the guy that he wanted to stop the fight with Buddy happening. Yeah. He got his ass whooped. I like how Vincent came back with the money to give to Jerry, but it was only $350 because dude got messed up so much that he had to keep 100 of that.
For the teeth.
And I'm like, bro, you might need the whole 450 because he got his whole finger broken.
Yeah.
So he had $350, and then later on, his last desperate plea with Buddy was to give him money to avoid the fight. And Buddy's like, all right, I'll take the money. But you know what this makes you? It makes you look like the biggest pussy ever.
Yeah.
And when
the fight is still on.
And when Jerry heard that, he went back and he was stewing like that. It's one thing to try and avoid the fight, but when someone outright says that to you, now you start to really feel like, he's right. I'm like, I need to fight, to defend my pride.
And then you really manned up.
Yeah, so he went to Buddy. He said, "Give me the money back. We're gonna have this fight." So, fight went down, and Jerry knocked out Buddy. And then when the detective showed up, in the midst of all that discussion, Buddy ended up disappearing. And the detective wanted to take Jerry in for questioning, but Mr. Taylor was like, no, he had enough for today. He didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Come back tomorrow and we'll discuss. So it's like that whole sequence was really well done with how it played out. Because things could have went from bad to worse for Jerry if the detective got a hold of him.
Yeah.
So props to Mr. Taylor for saving him there. And then the next day, he's in the school store, and everybody now has respect for Jerry because he stood up to Buddy and defeated him. So they's like, you know what, we're gonna help you out. Give us a few pages of paper, and we'll give money. And everybody came and started giving money to help rebuild the funds that was lost. And then out of all of it, Buddy shows up. Everybody stops and back off because they don't want to touch him. He comes back, drops the money on the table. He gives them a little, barely smile, and walks off.
Yeah.
It was earning respect.
And then, of course, Mitchell can choose the pussy of choice.
Yes.
It's pussy of his choice.
And then on top of that, now everybody in the school is telling stories about, you see what Jerry did?
Yeah.
That man, he's a madman. It was just the perfect way to end the film. Like this movie is so damn good.
Yeah, and it's so important in school, that you have like this, that you have like this resume that people are afraid of you. Like I worked very hard for me. Everybody thought I was a madman, and I worked very hard in school, like to be like the wild card.
and it feels like once you get that respect, and they always say respect is earned.
Yeah.
He got the respect from Buddy. He got the respect from the students, and now they're spreading the stories about how great he is and stuff like that. And it's like all is right in the world. My cool level just went up 10 points. So it's like this is a movie I can just watch over and over again because it's just so fun. It's so relatable, and it's just an overall great film. I love the camera work in the movie.
Yeah,
how it zooms in on the faces and zooms to the clock.
Yeah, it really feels like that. That he also like took a lot of not only from High Noon, but in general like a lot of Western angles. Like also like from Sergio Leone and the style.
Yeah, he had like a Western within the school set.
Yeah,
it's totally building up. It's just building up to that final fight. So it's like High Noon at 3:00, but it's 3:00 instead of noon. But yeah, it's just a super fun film.
So I'm really looking forward to next week because it's also gonna be a new movie experience for me.
Oh man. Hey, I'm not gonna put it past you, the one that you doing the Kid and Play dance. I know you've seen it before on whatever highlights and stuff like that. I posted that scene before, but hey, when you see the dance scene, it's one of the best dance scenes in movie history, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I can rent it on Amazon, the movie, because I mean the DVD is sold out.
Yeah. But yeah, you're gonna enjoy it, man.
It's crazy with some of these movies where I'm like, there's not even a Blu-ray of this. or if there's a Blu-rays like or something like a very very like small limited amount of it in around, and yeah, it's fantastic movie. 3 o'clock high.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you experienced it for the first time.
Yeah.
And didn't worry with the false advertisement of what they tried to do with the
It was not a high school splatter movie. It's like
even though a high school splatter movie might sound interesting.
Yeah. It's like because like, is this a comedy? Is this the fucking Class of Nukem High? Like
hey, that we gotta talk those films too.
Yeah.
Class Nukem High, Class of 1999, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, those movies were wild too.
No, it was.
Oh, don't get me started with the school movies, those splatter school movies. Pam was in one of the Class of 1999. She was in. So.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. So, and totally recommend this movie. Like I'm very happy you recommended it. So, and this stays in the collection. Probably in the future, I hope it's gonna be like a Blu-ray because I would love it, or even a 4K because with these effects, with the camera angles, with the little details in the background that I was not able to see, like if the quality.
Check out the dean's office.
Yeah.
The books. I mean, when you really look at him, you're like, yeah, he definitely looks like somebody from the Nazi symbols.
Yeah, it's probably just like with the regular grandparents here, probably.
But yeah, it's a fantastic film, man. Love watching it again.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to next week. Thanks to everybody that showed up in the chat. 2 people, Christina Payne and Air Spider. Props to y'all. And if y'all come back next week, we'll be talking House Party, the Kid and Play movies, not the recent movie, the classic 1990 House Party. So, is there any last words you want to say?
Watch this movie; it's awesome.
Awesome. And with that, we are signing off. Everybody have a great weekend, y'all.
A fantastic one.